Aloha, everyone. Welcome to A Talk in the Dark. I hope all of you are doing good this evening. As you can hear, there's a much wider audience tonight. We have Necrophonic in the background. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, they'll chime in. Hope you're all doing good this evening. I know I am. There's a few things to talk about tonight. Some of them scare me. But if I wasn't into the ghosts of Hawaii, then I would let that fear take hold of me. By the way, thank you to everyone that joined us for that live stream from the scene of a possible murder, a cold case. And yes, people have been asking me, did something shake the car? Hell yeah, something shaked the car. Not the first time either, by the way. This has happened in the past. But to have it happen at a place where great tragedy happened, I still find it to be a bit unnerving. Thank you all for being here tonight. Let me just check the chat room out, see who's here this evening. Let's go from the top, excuse me. Sin City, thank you for being here. Neil Toma, aloha to you as well. Kaleo, aloha to you. Troy, thank you for joining in tonight. So, let me kind of give you folks a rundown of why I'm doing this show this evening. I was invited this past Monday to return to the place that I had done a previous live stream. Those who choose to remain. I was very much so excited about doing this. As soon as the invitation was given to me, I was like, yes. Excuse me. Yes, let's do this. Let's go back there. Let's see what we can do with what we were talking about. And so we did. We did return. It was a nice event. It was a holiday type scenario that I was invited to. And this time, I wasn't in the basement anymore. I was invited to be a part of the festivities. So when we got there, there was a nice dinner. Pleasantries were, of course, exchanged with everybody. And then I started to take some photos. So I took my full spectrum with me. And I went into the dining room and I snapped a few pictures. And then we went down below to the first floor and we ate and we were talking. It was nice. Didn't think much about it until most of the people left. And then at one point, I was absolutely alone. I was absolutely alone in that place. And as I was sitting down, reading through some of my emails, and yes, checking on YouTube, since I was sitting near the door that led out of the place that we were gathered to eat at, I heard like something being dragged across the floor. And that was unsettling. Not going to lie about that. So when I turned to look outside of the door, since I was sitting there, across from me is an elevator, and the elevator started to close. And as far as I could tell, there was nobody in that elevator at all. No one. So, of course, as we say here in Hawaii, I got the heebie jeebies. Oh, by the way, can someone tell me if the live stream is still going? I don't know if my screen froze. So, if the live stream is still going, let me know, please. I know how you can tell me the live stream is still going. Someone give me a like. Give me a like. If you give me a like, I'll be able to tell. Give me a like, and I'll be able to tell if it's still running. Still going. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. It's probably a tech issue of some type. It was trippy. I mean, I didn't expect much. I was invited to a holiday gathering, so my mind is along the lines of a holiday type scenario. And then I experienced what someone told me went on over there. Other people showed up, we talked for a bit, and then they left again. And it was around 2 minutes or so after that that the voices started to show up, or I heard these voices. Just like what was shared on the live stream. If you have not seen that live stream, go to those who chose to remain and watch that, where we're in the basement of this haunted building. And I heard those voices. There were a lot of them. They were talking, they were excited. I don't know what was being said. Oh, by the way, thank you for the likes. Really appreciate it. I don't know what they were saying, but they were very excited about their conversation. And then the voices went away. Not much happened after that. We were leaving the place where I was invited to, and I was going through my photos on my camera, and it was really weird. Like, I took a few photos of the dining room, and then there was one photo that looked like it was in full spectrum, and then the rest of them was of the dining room again. So I turned to my friend. I said, "Hey, check this out." But the screen is so small, you can't really tell what's on the screen. Hey, look at this. There's something weird. Why is this in full spectrum? And I will tell you why that intrigues me in just a moment. So me and my friend are baffled. We don't know what is going on in that picture. It's too small to see. So when I went home, I just decided to put my camera away, and I had experienced enough for one night. I was kind of tired. Put it away. Following day, I didn't think much about it. And at one point, I don't know why, something said, "Look at your camera." So I picked up the camera, and I remembered the word photo. And so I uploaded it onto my tablet. And what I saw gave me the creeps. So let's talk about photos before I go any further. Ghost photos are very interesting. Some photos are like right in your face, like the one I took at Pearl City High School. That's a demonic lady. She's holding on to the parking gate. She's holding on. You can see it quite clearly. I've taken other photos where you can see that there is a ghost in that photograph. Then there's the tricky part. Sometimes you upload it onto social media and you tell people, "Hey, guess what? I got a picture of a ghost." And then people start seeing different things. It's like, "Oh, I see this face here. I see legs. I see arms. I see all these different things." But I can assure you, from doing this for many years, that what I saw, as I said, gave me the creeps. In the photo, you can see the face of a person, but above that face, and this is what first got me to really pay attention, but didn't have to do that for long. It was like maybe 2 or 3 seconds in, and I saw what I saw. And there was like this hand in full spectrum coming towards the camera. You can see a few fingers and a thumb. As a matter of fact, the hand is so intricate in detail. If you look at it, you can see a fingernail on it, which is absolutely bizarre. You know, it's just, I never got something like that so clear. And then beneath it looks like a face tilted to the right. And you know how they have that emoji like ooh wow or something along those lines? The emoji with its mouth like in like a round circle. It was like that, like something that was looking at the camera in amazement with its hand extended towards it. Now let me tell you what I think makes this photo legit. I haven't posted it yet because I don't want 100,000 million ideas coming from people out there. Not that my channel is that popular yet or will ever be, but I don't want people saying legs, arms, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, I don't want none of that. And that's why I haven't posted it yet. I may post it after this. So go check my community page to see if I post it. Okay. I also enhanced it a bit. I'm going to tell you why I think this photo is very legit. And again, this gives me the creeps. This gives me the freaking creeps. So there's a photo of the dining room, right? The next photo is in full spectrum, okay? The other photo after that is in the dining room. The dining room photos are fully lit up. None of them are in full spectrum, right? They're just lit up, although I was using a full spectrum camera. But that photo after the first one is what I described to you, right? Here's the kicker. What I think happened is there was a ghost that came right up to my camera, was very curious about what I was holding. It reached out its hands, figured out what the camera was, and put it into full spectrum. Because I'll tell you straight up right now, that's exactly what that picture looks like. It touched the camera. As a matter of fact, just to let you know, there's a setting on the front of the camera. There's a switch where you can turn it into full spectrum. You can actually flip the switch. When I went to check the camera, something had flipped that switch. Wasn't me. I had it off so I could save battery life. So to me, that's what makes it very much so a compelling photo. Is it someone who recently passed away at that place? Or was it someone much older than the history of that building? Was it something else that did not recognize what I had in my hand, but want to check it out and then figured it out, or was playing with one of the buttons and turned it into full spectrum? Now, what's even more compelling there is that whoever the spirit was figured out what that switch was for, because it put the camera setting back to normal. That's why I was able to get the other photographs that definitely looked like they were just the way I had intended it to be. It was on the setting it should have been, in full light. I wasn't looking at dark places or anything. Usually when I take my full spectrum camera out, I'll get all the settings set up and everything because I'm in a dark area. That was not the case here at all. This shows me that there was intelligence behind that photograph. So like I said, I did post it on my Ghosts of Hawaii. And I appreciate everybody chiming in, but it kind of like gets to be distracting after a while. So I'll probably take it down off of Ghosts of Hawaii. I may post it up for you folks to see for a while though. You folks will get a chance to see it. Okay? Just to let you know. You folks will get that opportunity. And then I'll take it down. I will. I'll take it down. Thank you for your responses. Yeah, okay, let me go back and see what some people have said. Okay. Oh, Koniko, hi. Aloha all. Kuhal, thank you. Aloha to you as well. Wow, that's amazing from Troy. Koniko said neat. Yes, there was intelligence and not a fluke. There has to be. I mean, the best I can do is tell everyone, right? This is what happened. I went to this place. I took some photos, right? A series of photos and such. And one of them looked weird. And then I uploaded it and it looked even more scary. Definitely scary. And to think, people talk about this a lot in the paranormal. We talk about the prevalence of spirits being able to manipulate our equipment. I've had digital cameras destroyed. I've had other things altered and played with. All of that from some kind of entity that was around that figured out how to use my equipment. It's happened before. I've been in graveyards at 3 a.m. and they manipulated cameras and such. Not the entire, although that does happen too, not just the draining of equipment, but the manipulation of the electronics itself. But never have I seen something that would lead me to believe that my thoughts are actually on point, as with that photo. And I have taken a few that leaves me not only baffled, but afraid to go out into the dark. I think I may have shared this story with you folks, but I know I've shared it with some people when we're out at an active location, sitting around in the dark, talking, waiting for something to happen. I said, hey, you know what? One night I was walking into this old hiking trail, and it was scary. You know, all you got is your flashlight and a bunch of old tree branches in front of you, and you're walking into this trail, and then you start to ascend and go up this path. And at one point, I had to stop because I was getting kind of tired. So I pull out my camera at this clearing, and I'm taking pictures of the trees around me and even the bushes and such. And it's just like what I told you about this photo. I took the photos. I went to do my investigation. I came home. I opened my camera and talk about spirit manipulation. I'll tell you why in a moment. I went through my photos, and in one of those photos was the face of a man peeking through the bushes. That photo was so vivid. I would like turn my camera on, and I remember my dad saying from across the room, hey honey, look at this picture. Look at this picture. You can see a man's face. So I turned to my friends because I say, oh, also afterwards, the photo was no longer there. It was there for a while and it was gone. Did someone take away the photo? Could be. But I always like to share this with people that are out there looking for ghosts. I say, hey, even if you can't see them, remember that one spirit that I took a picture of in the bushes is somewhere out there right now. And that wasn't too far away from where we were sitting down either. That wasn't far away from that area. So I tell them that. I said, hey, when you're out there, remember, you are being watched. Just as much as you're looking for something, they're looking at you. There was another photo that I took. I was in a graveyard for Chinese people, and there was an orb in one of the photos that my roommate took, there was a face of an Asian man. How do you explain these things? How do you explain that face in the bushes? How do you explain me taking a photo at a location where ghosts are seen, and I'm taking photos in the light, and then I capture a photo of what looks like something very curious about my camera, and it reaches out its hand to probably flick or flip that switch? How do you explain that? And then having enough intelligence as a spirit to put the setting back, to flip the switch again back to normal so that the next picture was a-okay. I would like to share that with you folks. I would like to get some of your opinions, but then again, I know how all of this works and I have to pause, so excuse me for pausing. Yeah, if any of you don't like the fact that I like to do stories and such in the dark, then please, by all means, go elsewhere. No one is saying for you to stay. No one is saying for you to wait around and see what else happens, because this is the reality of the paranormal. It all starts in this element for the most part. A lot of people are going to experience things in the daytime. There's all kind of different things, but a lot of times as well, we experience things in the dark. And now we will continue. At Hawaiian Hauntings, I saw you. Hello, Joe. Good to see you, my friend. So I'm baffled, but I'm excited by this photo that I took. To me, it really does show intelligence. I'm not saying spirits are stupid. They have always baffled us. They have always made me go, wow. And rightfully so. They've always done that. They've always caught me off guard. You can go to a place and say, hey, this is the agenda for tonight. This is what we're going to do. And the spirits will still catch you off guard. Not only are they ahead of the curve, they are the curve. They created the curve. And that's why this photo fascinates me. Absolutely fascinates me. It was so exciting for me. I had to call a friend and say, hey, do you see what I see in this photo? And that's why, folks, besides going out and doing what we do, trying to help the public with what they're experiencing, we also go out into these locations, not only to find evidence, but to find things that connect the dots and creates a very vivid picture. This is one of the best reasons why we go out into the field, so that people like you out there can get a better understanding of how all of this works. Not just the TV shows, not the movies, not the books, but the things that paranormal communities do all the time. People like Hawaiian Hauntings, like my group Ghosts of Hawaii, and other people here in the islands. This is why we do it. So after this, I am going to put the picture up on my community page. If you are interested, go ahead and take a look. Okay, on the upper part of the photo, at the top part, you'll see a hand. And right below that, I'm just telling you what I see, and I can send you an illustration of it, is a head tilted to the side with its mouth open, almost like it's amazed at what it's looking at. And that hand, by the way, that hand is going towards that switch. I looked at it. It's a left hand moving upwards towards the switch. That's the only way possible, the only way that that picture could have turned to full spectrum. It's the only way that that could happen. And even then, why did it go completely full spectrum? These are still questions that we cannot answer. We may never answer. But it makes me excited to know that we are being observed as much as we are trying to observe, and that they do things to make us pause and think. Am I going back to this location? Oh, which photo? I'm sorry. Hawaiian Hauntings. If you go to my Ghosts of Hawaii page, you'll see the photo. I've posted it a couple of times. I've actually looked at not so much Photoshop, right? Well, Photoshop apps, but only to pop the image out, right? To make it stand out a little bit more. So it's on there. I've enhanced it slightly several times from full spectrum to where you can probably see the details. It's really interesting that hand. I explained it to my other friend. It's like I was telling my friend, see, look, Koniko's chiming in as well. I told my other friend, I said, hey, you know what? You know what this photo reminds me of? Say we're in the dark, right? And I put it on full spectrum and I'll say, hey, can you put your hand in front of my camera so I can see if this is actually working? It reminds me of that. You know, like you're making sure your camera is working properly. So you can see this hand that's at the very top of the photo and look underneath that. And if you look at it, and I did draw out the illustration a bit, it looks like a head that's tilted to the right and its mouth is open. This really interesting, fascinating photo is up there on my Ghosts of Hawaii page. And even if I only caught the hand, even if I only caught the hand, right, in the photo, I would definitely say that something was trying to manipulate my camera. Because I mean, I can show other people too, and they can, validate it for me. There's a series of photographs. That's how I do my ghost photography. So one in the light, one in full spectrum, and then back in the light again. And I know I've said this several times, but this is why even when you watch shows like Ghost Adventures and stuff, right? People are always wondering what the hell is going on with my equipment sometimes. And I'm not saying that I got this earth-shattering revelation and photo for all of you, but I will tell you this. Rest assured that there was something going on with those series of photographs. And this is the first time with my new full spectrum camera I've gotten a photo like that. I got in some crazy stuff, people. If you like, go back and look at my library of videos. Look for the one that I think is called The Photo of a Giant. When I was up at Old Poly Drive and I was taking photographs, I swear to God, you'll see the leg of a giant next to a tree, a very tall tree. Go look for that if you like. That's on my other full spectrum camera. But this really makes me excited. Koniko says, funny how some ghost pictures or videos just vanish. Yes, some of them do. Some of them do. I remember a very famous and well-respected tour guide in Hawaii once saying that be careful when you take pictures because sometimes you take photographs and you'll see energy from the flash of the object that you're taking a picture of. The energy will come out of the picture, come out of the object and go straight into your photo. And I've seen that. I've seen energy, like when you take a picture of something, come out, emanate from the actual object and go straight into your camera. So you got to be careful with some of this stuff. Let me go back and look at some of the comments here on this evening's live stream. Let me go back here and see. There's Joe. Cleo says, just like the photo that I took at Kailua High of a female floating down the hallway, it disappeared from my phone. Ulani Ku'ule, I believe your name is. Aloha. Welcome. Kohal, thank you, Abaki, for sharing this with me and everyone here. Which photo? Looks like a hand. I enjoyed your talk in the dark tonight. Thank you so very much. You're very welcome, Kuhao. Yeah, it's very amazing how evidence can be manipulated by spirits. I should do an entire show on manipulation with ghosts and objects and such because it's a fascinating field. Full spectrum, interesting pick. Full spectrum, yes, full spectrum. If you look on the top, you can see that hand. You can see that hand clearly, and it's moving forward. And if you do look at it the right way, you'll see the head tilted, and its mouth is open, and it's going straight for my camera. I've had situations where I've done EVPs, talking to very dark spirits, and then it's there and it's vivid and you're excited, and then you go back to find it, and it's been shuffled around on the digital recorder. You have to look for it. It's not where it originally was. Or with one that I did, it just went and removed the recording completely. So those who choose to remain, I already went in believing in this stuff when I did that interview that you all listened to. When you saw that dark energy, well, you didn't see it, but I told you about the dark energy that was moving on the wall. And then I went back there and I went further down the rabbit hole. And the rabbit was waiting for me. That's all I can really tell you right now about that. Coming up, I will be doing a show about animals and the paranormal. As a matter of fact, I would love to have Joe Punohu chime in because when we talk about animals and the paranormal, I'm not going to only be talking about situations where animals react. Your pets can react to things around you that you don't see, but they do. We're also going to be talking about Aumakua. We're going to be talking about the Hawaiian deities that are involved, that personify themselves as animals, like the mo'o and the owl. We're going to be talking about that. Joe, if you're listening, my friend, don't eat the mushrooms. That's right. Whenever you're talking about the rabbit hole. But Joe, if you're listening, my friend, I would love to have you chime in for that show. Because I know that, as a matter of fact, just to let Joe know, one of the things I was going to talk about on animals and the paranormal connection is the time me and Joe saw this huge white pig. And it absolutely blew our mind. So Joe, if you're interested with that, I will be doing that show. I'm going to just get together some more information about it, and I'll be doing it because I will be at least mentioning about Almacoa and everything else. Would love to have you on, Joe. Would love to have you on, and we can, when you and I sit down, we just get into it. The heart of the matter is there, and we are so fully involved with it. So look for that. That's coming up, guys. That's coming up. Yeah, awesome subject for an upcoming show. Definitely. And I know that me and Joe have a vested interest in Mo'o and other Aumakua and spirits out there, including Kalpe. Kalpe as well. And so that is coming up, my friends. If Joe is interested, I will get a hold of him and we will talk about doing it. Yeah, I did. Joe said, haha, yup, that was cool. It vanished in front of us in my headlights. It damn well freaked us out. I'll tell you that much. This was no normal sized pig. This thing was huge and it was white. Anyway, when we do the show, or I do the show, whatever the case may be, and we talk about it, that will be a highlight. It'll show up. It'll show up in our conversation. So, Joe, if you like that, I'll text you and see what you think about it. So that's coming up. And then there'll be other things. If you are involved with this channel, if you do follow this channel, you'll get the surprise live streams. These are all bonuses to you folks for watching, besides the investigations, besides the scheduled guests. These are all bonuses for all of you. And so that will be coming up. Kuhal saying, I can't wait for the show about Aumakua. That's going to be tied into animals and the paranormal. We're going to be talking about that because a lot of people have pets too. and they have these experiences with their animals. And so I'm really looking forward to doing this show. We got other stuff coming up, Sacred Grounds and everything else. I said Polyarchana, Kamapu'a, that's it. Kamapu'a, that's what it was. I honestly believe, I talked with Joe about it. We believe that we may have encountered Kamapu'a because that's his neck of the woods that it was seen at, the spirit. Yeah, had to hit the bell again for notifications. Hit that bell, oops, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be able to be a part of this. You will definitely be able to be a part of this. As a matter of fact, let me extend an aloha to all of you. If you have anything that you would like to share that you feel is very unusual or interesting, I don't care if you're near or far, contact me with your story at obakihunter51 at gmail.com. That's obakihunter51 at gmail.com. You can also find me lurking on my own group on Facebook, Ghosts of Hawaii, hosted by Obaki Hunter. Let's see what's being said here. He's also in the Moana Loa Gardens area too. I believe he's everywhere. Ulani says, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Always keep house bird. They always let you know when things are wrong. Oh, I believe it. And then Joe Panoho says, yeah, he had come to protect us maybe 30 minutes prior from something else. Yeah, I believe it. When it comes to the paranormal, you put everything on the table. Pay attention to everything that's being shared. You know, and as long as you come with a healthy dose of respect, that is a great thing. So I'm looking forward to these shows that are coming up. Also, for those of you that are interested in the Pearl City High School haunting, there will be a return to that location in the future. Right now, I'm looking at one specific area to investigate, and that will be coming up in December. And I will be sharing the information with, as a matter of fact, I'm supposed to get a hold of Joe today, but this camera's evidence caught me off guard. If you like the Pearl City High School situation that we did, look forward to that as well. And we have other things coming up thanks to the people that follow my group and also this particular program. Things that I think you will find very interesting, including I'm going to be scheduling it for January, an interview with a police officer, actually 2 police officers. Well, the first one's coming up in January sometime, hopefully, depending how things go. And we'll talk about what they experience when they're out and about at night doing what they're doing. There's going to be a part 2 also, just to let everyone know. There's a part 2 to what I did with my last live stream, Spirit Box at the scene of a possible murder. There'll be a part 2. That's going to be video though, for the most part, because reception there is not so great. Polyarchana said, try Necrophonic recently. Is there a difference between the reception factors from echo or reverb, or does it depend on the session? It depends on the session. It depends on the people. It depends on the interaction. Right now, it's just running in the background. By the way, if you heard anything that was connected to my conversation with Necrophonic, which is running in the background, and you think it's an interesting connection, please leave a comment down below. But this is just running on its own. For me, it's nothing until you actually interact with it. And it's a bit of craziness involved with that. We should do a whole entire show on spirit boxes. And I already know who I want to do the show with. Again, it is the legendary Joe Punoho, because me and him have done a lot of spirit box. And we can talk about what happens with spirit boxes and also the very real danger of spirit boxes, because they are digital Ouija boards. They are definitely digital Ouija boards. So you have to treat them, with the same manner of interaction and respect. A couple times I make the boo-boo. I don't say goodbye at the end of the session. That's my bad. That's the kuleana that falls on my back. But yeah, with the Necrophonic or any device you use, I believe that it just depends on who the people are that are there, your intentions, how you interact, how you voice your opinions or whatever that you want to share with the spirits, and being very, very aware that a lot of times you're going to get stuff that you don't want to hear. I did one spirit box, it's on my YouTube channel, and it was like very late at night, and I'm running my SB11, and you could hear a voice say, F you, and then this spooky woman that said, come here, boy. That's how they see us sometimes. That's exactly how they see us. Troy Fujimoto says, the previous session with Necrophonic was chilling and responding with mud, which could very well be involved with something that a friend of mine told me about today that was involved with the murder case, the cold case. He shared information with me, and it did say mud, and I need to talk to that guy about it because it connected with what he was sharing with me. Can't really divulge it to the public, but it is chicken skin kind stuff, isn't it? Arcana with, I agree, discernment is key with spirit box tech, and opening and closing is always my main issue. Lots of laugh out loud. I have to remember that. I do it too. I make the boo boo. But I think we should do a show about spirit boxes. That's coming up down the pipeline in the future. As for now, everyone, I'm going to return you back to whatever you were doing before you saw my notification here on YouTube. Sending you back to your daily lives until the next time we have a talk in the dark, or a guest, or we are on location. Kohal says, good night, Obaki. Great show tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm very excited. I will post the pic for a little while, and then I will remove it. Because like I said, sorry to say that we live in a world where there are a lot of rude people, and they ain't got nothing better to do with their lives than to go online and just act like idiots. Hate to say it, but it's true. And I don't want to be having to remove such comments because I have to do that sometimes. I really do. Let's see what's being said here. You're right, opening and closing. What? From Troy, you're right. Opening and closing protocols are good to remember. Exactly. Kuniko, mahalo. Have a good night. Thank you very much. Hawaiian Hunt is gonna hele. Got stuff here. Talk to you soon, dude. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, if you want to be a part of my show on animals and the paranormal. It's not set yet with a date, so there's plenty of times to formulate that in the future. I think you, as always, would make a great guest. And Kaleo says, okay, Obaki, I just made the connection with mud. There you go, my friend. There you go. And of course, we were at that site of a possible murder. And mud is connected to that possibly as well. Crazy, right? Crazy. Didn't reveal the location because we don't want LA people that are going to poke around, you know, acting like they know everything about ghosts. I don't know everything. And I think less experienced people should proceed with caution or avoid interaction altogether. Ulilani, I'm going to call you that. Mahalo for sharing. Excuse me if I am saying your name wrong. Guys, it's been a great one. I am all kind of excited about the shows that are coming up. And I think tonight before I go to sleep, I will be looking at that photo again. It's a reminder to me that whether we like it or not, those who choose to remain are very well aware of what we're doing. Thank you all for watching. Please do me a favor. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend about this. If you know anybody, auntie, uncle, cousin, whoever, you meet somebody, you're talking in the store, let them know, hey, there's this channel where we really get into it. We really do. At times we are out there investigating. At times we have great guests. And at times it's you and me. You and me in the dark. And that's the best for me to look at. You and me in the dark. Ghosts of Hawaii, you're home for a dose of ghosts. And that face in the bushes out there. Good night, everyone. Pleasant dreams. Aloha.